Hey Minnesota, this is State Auditor Julie Blaha. Today I've been getting questions about why I'm supporting Governor Walz' stay-at-home executive order. Well, like any good auditor, I started with the math. So let's take a moment and look at the basic math of COVID-19. Let's take a look at a graph of the number of cases of COVID over time. I'm going to use these beads to represent the number of cases of COVID in Minnesota. Like so many contagious diseases, start out slow and then start to increase, a little faster, till we got a curve. We anticipate that curve is going to peak at some point and then fall off to a more manageable level. Now, this graph is already interesting with this shape, but it makes a lot more sense if we add one more idea, and that is our capacity. I'm going to use this line to represent how many cases our healthcare system can handle successfully. Now, when the number of cases is below the capacity line, we have our best outcomes. Not perfect outcomes, but our best shot of controlling the disease. Once we get over that line, we start to see problems. We start to have shortages. We start to run out of equipment, time, people, and that gets to be a problem. So what can we do? Well, early on in an outbreak, you can try to flatten the curve. Now, that means you'll take actions that will push the number of cases out over time, won't necessarily reduce them, but just pushes them out over time so they're within your current capacity. And that will help you handle it better. Well, what we learned today from the University of Minnesota is that our curve is pretty set. We're not going to be able to flatten it very much with our actions. So what is our other option? Our other option is to push the peak out into the future. If we use social distancing measures, we're going to be able to move the peak out in time, slow it down basically, so that the peak ends up out here somewhere. Now, what's the point of that? Well, what that gives us is time right here so we can work on our capacity. If we use this time well, we can increase the number of equipment and people and space to better meet the number of cases we expect to get. So that's what right now stay at home means. Stay at home is our option to push this curve out in the future so we have time to build capacity. If you stay at home, Minnesota, you're going to be fixing the math to help us make our community healthier. So we're in this together. 3 words: stay home, Minnesota.